What's up, guys? Chime in if you can hear anything. If you can hear something, anything. I had the wrong. There we go. Okay, this should work. All right. Thank you. What's up, everybody? Sorry about that. I switched over to a new board. What's up? Right. Welcome to Shared Universe Podcast Studio. This is Ming Chen. Some late night freaking unboxing action for any of you guys can't sleep. If you're on the West Coast, if you have no concept of time, doesn't matter. So, um, during this, hopefully everybody's staying safe during this weird quarantine. I've been staying pretty busy. We've been podcasting. I've been working on a number of projects and new skills and old skills that I've been trying to get better at. But I've also been getting into these weird things. I was like, hey, that looks pretty cool. Like, I kind of want to buy that. And then I was like, wow, that is outrageously expensive. I don't really need that. But um, and then doing research, massive amounts of research on this thing that I think I want but don't need, and that leads me to acquiring today this box here, which there is supposedly a Han Solo blaster in here, which is pretty cool. So, quick story about how I got to this though. A few months ago, I was at the All Star Comic Con in Northern Virginia. Shout out to my man Kevin who runs that con, and my friends MJ and Savan had a whole setup where it was a whole Blade Runner setup, and they cosplayed as Rachel and Deckard. And my friend Savan was like, "Hey, dude, check this out!" And he pulls out a Deckard blaster replica from a Japanese company called Tomino Suke, and this thing was freaking gorgeous. It looked from every detail down. It was exact to Deckard's blaster, and he let me hold it, and you could put bullets in there. It is awesome, and I was like, wow, this thing is pretty cool. And then he told me how much it was. Like, oh man, that's like I don't even know if the real Deckard blaster costs that much, but it is like a perfect spot on replica of that. And I was like, wow, man, I really that's awesome. And I've been thinking about grabbing one. If you want to do some research on it, you can see how much it is. So I've been selling some stuff I didn't needed, like just slowly inching toward getting it over there. And I almost pulled, pun intended, I almost pulled the trigger on it. And then last week, I stumbled upon something called a Todd's Costumes Han Solo blaster, and started doing some research into that. And I was like, holy crap, this thing is awesome. And it's half the price. It was half the price too. So um, basically, long story short, I literally pulled the trigger on this thing, and it came. So if you head over to toddscostumes.com, you can check this thing out. When I pulled it up on the website, I was like, "Holy crap! That is awesome!" Like, it is full metal construction. It looks exact, and it was half the price of the Blade Runner blasters. It's like, all right, I'll put the Blade Runner blaster on hold right now, but I'm gonna acquire it one day. Also, another thing, and I'm sorry, this is a very long story, but also another thing I've been doing is I've been is anybody familiar with that app Cameo, the Cameo app? Um, the Some people over at Cameo was like, hey, you should join this. You were on TV. I think a lot of people would be really happy if you got on there, and people could buy like shout outs and birthday greetings and wedding greetings from you. And I'm like, who the hell would want that from me? Because I looked on there and there was like Brett Favre was on there, and you know, like there were I think like Ric Flair is on there, like, you know, cool people. I was like, who the hell would want something from me? But I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I threw myself up on there, and if anybody wants a birthday greeting or a shout out from me, you can get one. I charge very low price compared to everybody else, and lo and behold, people start buying it. So like not a ton, but I've been getting a lot of steady ones lately. And my goal is to make them awesome. So while some of these other cameos, they're like literally 10 seconds. I was like, hey, this is so and so, happy birthday. Have a great one. Mine, I try to make mine like 3 or 4 minutes. So, and I try to get really personal with it. So, so what I did was like, hey, I made a couple bucks on Cameo. It's like, hey, I'll just keep doing these, and if I hit a certain number, then I can buy some of the fun stuff that I want. So, with that being said, I'm going to open this. So, big shout out to toddscostumes.com. I literally ordered this thing very late on Monday, and I got it today. So it was 2 day shipping. They got it very quickly, and they were literally like, "Listen, we're about running out, and these things are kind of handmade. So if you don't get it now, we'll probably run out, and then our next run won't be until like July." So again, I literally pulled the trigger on it. So I'm cracking open the box here. You can see beyond the curtain here. And okay, so it is double boxed. So thank you, Todd's Costumes. Because I've seen the mailman, they trash these things. So and right here, I don't know if you can see that if it's too bright. Han Solo replica blaster, a New Hope version, factory new. So they do sell two versions. One is a very clean version with no weathering, and then they sell a weathered version for $100 more, which looks amazing. I think they actually took the wear detail from the actual prop and they absolutely replicated it. I like a new car. I want the new car smell. So I grabbed the new one. So without further ado, so upon first impression before I open it, this thing is heavy. It's like it feels like it's 4 or 5 pounds. And I know I'm not like the strongest guy in the world, so I may be off by a couple pounds, but so here goes. I am opening it and I am pulling off the wrap. Wow. All right. So I'm pulling it out. It is wrapped in plastic, everybody. And I am going to try to pull this thing out without breaking it. So for anybody, yeah, if Greedo is bothering you, holy crap, dude. This is pretty sweet. So it is, yeah, pretty much full metal. It's very, very, it's heavy. It's heavy, but and you can see all the detail on here. I'll try to show you guys all this. Actually, let me take the banner out because now I don't even need this thing. You know what this thing is. So I did a little research. So this part right here, the actual gun part, is from a gun. I think it's a German gun kind of called a Mauser. Although there are two versions. There's a Mauser and there's one called the Denix. And I think the Mausers are pretty hard to get. The Denix models are easier to get. And also from doing a lot of research. So the original base for the gun when they made the movie came from a couple movies. One was a Frank Sinatra movie, and it looks like this. It's called The Naked Runner. And as you can see, that one has a scope on it, and it has this. And obviously, in Star Wars, they modified the barrel and everything. I think what they actually did, they took the Mauser body, they cut it, I guess, right about here, and they attached. I think it's like a rifle. It's a rifle or like a rifle barrel to it to make it longer. Also, if you look back here, there's a slot right here in the original gun, which was nicknamed, I believe, a broom handle. You could actually attach a stock to it. So, there's a whole stock that came with it. So, and let me see if I can pull up that picture. But just for historical purposes, it's actually pretty cool. So that was the whole kit for the original gun. So you could attach a stock to it, a scope, a silencer, all this other cool shit. So I'll get myself back on here. Also, it was also used in another movie called Sitting Target. And I'll pull that up on here too. So you can see that as well. So it was used in 2 movies before it was used in Star Wars. And then they took that gun, I guess, from the prop department, cut it down, and they made this out of it. And as John Dropchuck says here, the scope is called a Hensoldt-Wetzlar 3x rifle scope. And this is a Hensoldt-Wetzlar scope. I don't know where Todd's Costumes sources these, but I mean the engraving is on here. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see it on there. The engraving is on there. So, and I'm going to show you the top here. It's got the I don't even know what this thing is because I'm not cool enough to but I don't, that's not a rangefinder. The rangefinder is right here where and this, so all these parts are I think that's supposed to slide or it goes up. I'll figure it out. And then the hammer actually cocks back too. So if you pop the hammer, the trigger pulls, bam. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And John says, I mean, these are replica scopes, but I mean that I don't even care if it's a replica. It's full metal, and it's a glass scope. So and I can see through it. It works. It's a working scope. Non-firing gun though, you can't put bullets into it. And this thing, this is like a flash suppressor or flash hider, or and these come from like German machine guns or something, and the prop people sawed it off and threw it on here. So I'm pretty impressed with this thing. I thought this thing there is a rangefinder on here. I thought it flipped up, and there's another. Oh, okay. So there's you can load. I guess you load bullets in here. But I have to explore this thing more. It's pretty sweet. So it's nothing hokey religions, and somebody give me the quote. It's no match for a blaster on your side. So yeah, and then I think one of the bigger details on some of the replica blasters is this grill here, which comes from some kind of model kit. So yeah, all right. So Todd Costumes, great job. So all I got to do now is I got to find a stand for this thing, and not shoot my computer with it. But that right there is the last thing Greedo saw before he got crisped in the cantina. So yeah, and it's so yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. Thank you, Becky Jones. ToddsCostumes.com. Check them out. They the weathered version that they sell is pretty legit too. I just I think without seeing the base model, I didn't want to spend the extra $100 on it. I mean, I knew this was legit, and from reading all the reviews, I knew this thing was legit. But geez, this is pretty sweet. I figure just by just by handling it, because it'll probably live here in the podcast studio, which is where I'm at right now. And anybody interested is like, hey man, if you want to hold it or take photos with it, you can. I'm sure, maybe we'll get some natural wear and tear there. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. I saw, I saw a couple of these on Etsy. I know there are a lot of 3D printed versions. There are some kind of plastic and metal versions cobbled together, but yeah, man. So I want to thank everybody who booked cameos from me. And if if anybody is interested, I'll throw up the address here. You can head over there and grab a cameo if you want. That'll probably be going toward the Deckard, to me, the Deckard PKD Blade Runner gun, and because that's what I was originally after, and I still really want it. But I mean, dude, I saw this and I was like, holy crap, that's a thing of beauty. That's a thing of beauty. So yeah, so if you, not only are we a podcast studio, but we're becoming a prop house as well. So so yeah, if we, if we book enough cameos, I'll have enough money to buy that Blade Runner gun, which will go this will go on a stand, on a acrylic stand, and it'll be displayed here. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night. Always remember Han shot first. May the force be with you, everyone. And I'll sit here and answer some questions if you want. Throw some up here. So, Sir 316. Hey, Ming, I wanted to ask. Whoa, my voice is changing. How about that? Hey, Ming, I wanted to ask you how to get a copy or a print of the Comic Book Man Star Wars cover you got a few years ago. So I'm trying to figure out are you talking about the Star Wars Treasury edition or of the Marvel comic book? Those are around. They're actually not they're not that hard to find. So is that what you mean, or print Comic Book Man Star Wars cover? That's got to be it, right? Now that I look back on it, because I was checking out some old episodes of Comic Book Man. Like, we had a lot of Star Wars stuff come through. Like, almost once per episode, we got some kind of Star Wars item, which nothing wrong with that. So that is pretty cool. Marvel comic of you guys in the cantina. So I actually have that here. Where did I? Oh, it's up on the wall here. Let me check with the artist and see maybe if he'll make more prints of that and sell the and I'll see. Like, I see maybe if we can come to an agreement, we can start selling those. Actually, now that you ask, and now that we're talking Star Wars, hang on, I'm gonna pull it off the wall. Yeah, so you're talking about this one. Make sure there's no glare on it. Yeah, let me find out, because it's a pretty sweet piece. I just like I don't, this is not my work, although my image is depicted on here. But it is a pretty sweet piece. Let me see if I can. Yeah, since we're talking Star Wars, let me talk to the artist and see if maybe he wants to start selling prints of that, and then maybe he can send some this way, and we can start selling them. Seth George, do you miss filming Comic Book Men? Every day, my friend, every day. Although, I mean, it's not like we stopped busting each other's balls over at the store. It's just that it's not on TV anymore, and it stinks. And I mean, for a while, we pulled off the greatest scam. We got paid to bust each other's balls for 7 seasons. That was a pretty that was a pretty good trick, right? And that part, I miss that too, because then if I had TV money, I'd be buying more stuff like this. So, Chris Hewett, you made my box. Thank you. You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want, we're selling Secret Stash comic book and curated boxes over at janesilentbob.com if you want to check that out. So, let's see. Bogardhum, whatever happened to the USS Flagg you guys bought? So, as you guys know, I'm a pretty big GI Joe fan, and I acquired a USS Flagg on the show, and a lot of people were like, "Hey, did you really buy that?" Like, hell yeah, I bought that. I wanted that thing since I was 9 years old, and then finally at the age of 39, I was able to get it, and I thought I got a pretty good price. I think I talked the guy down to 550. He threw in the Sky Striker, he threw in a bunch of extra figures, and it was great. I had grand plans for that thing until I figured out and I remembered. You ever buy something and then you're like, oh crap. That was one of those purchases where I was like, where am I going to put a 7-foot plastic aircraft carrier? I had no room for it in my house because I got 2 kids. And had we had the podcast studio back then, it may have worked. I may have been able to find a place for it here, but I didn't. So it sat in the basement unassembled for a while. And then one day Walt was like, dude, you got to get this thing out of here. It's taking up too much room. It's a mess. I don't want it in here. And I was going to take it to storage, and I thought it would be sad if it sat in storage until I could find out what to do with it. So I ended up assembling it at the store, and this dude came by and he was like, hey man, is this thing for sale? I'm like, sort of. I don't really want to sell it, but what? Tell me your story though, because I wanted it to go to a fan. and he was like, "Hey, I was born the same year you were. I've always wanted one of these things, and I have a kid who's really into GI Joe. Like, I wanted to buy it for us." And I was like, "All right, well, I don't really want to sell this thing, but throw me out an offer." And he was like, "All right, how about I got a deal for you. How about I give you this price? Also, I'm opening a brewery in town, and if you let me buy this, I'll give you free beer for life." And I don't think I could have gotten a better offer for that. So, and we've kind of come to agreement that I can come and play with it whenever I want. His name is John Ross Kokoza, and as it turns out, he ended up being one of our sponsors here at the studio. He's our beer sponsor. So I got that free beer. We got a sponsor for the studio. I made a friend. The Uss Flagg went to a good home, and he's a fellow podcaster as well, so it all kind of worked out. And so I was like, all right, I'll sell this thing, but my next thing to get is a USS Flagg in box, and that's going to be tough because those things are tough. So John Dropker will curated boxes be back soon. So I didn't know they were off the website. So I guess so. I think what happened is Mike. I saw him not that long ago, and he seemed pretty frazzled. So I think what happens is they're trying to fulfill the order so they don't get too backed up, and then they'll put more up there. So I don't think it'll. I don't think it'll take that. I don't think that'll take that long. So Rick Chermog, I would like to get a copy of the Baltimore Comic Con exclusive Cryptozoic Man one, but I can't locate one that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Yeah, I think they made 1,000 of them, and most of them were. I believe we just gave them away at Baltimore Comic Con, and then we did a signing it was a promo item. So, yeah, I think I might have one, and even then I don't even know where it is because it got kind of crazy. I saw one dude had a version that was signed by all four of us. He got it graded 9.8, and somebody bought it for $1,200. So, I wish I would have gotten one signed and graded. Is the moral of the story. So, also, Christopher here, Ming, what's your favorite Star Wars moment? Man, there are so many. I mean, I love the Death Star trench battle. I'm always on the edge of my seat, even though I know how it ends. I know it ends. I really like the part though where Luke is flying toward the exhaust port. He's almost there. He pulls down the rangefinder, and then he hears Obi-Wan's voice, who's like, "Use the Force, let go." And the air traffic controller guys over at Yavin 4 is like, "Luke, you turned off your computer. What's wrong?" And he's like, "Nothing. I got this." And that's one of my favorite moments. I actually do at the end of Return of the Jedi when the Ewok celebration with the fireworks off the X-wing fighters. I like that too. Little did we know it was short-lived back then, but now we know that. So for some reason when I was a kid, I thought that was pretty awesome. The anything on Cloud City, the dude running away with the ice cream maker in Cloud City, that one's cool. Lobot, I like Lobot. The part after Han's been tortured by Darth Vader and he comes back and he's like, "I feel terrible." That's one of my favorite. I mean, there's so many favorite moments. I can't even. You're telling me to pick one. That is crazy. Sir 316, before it shut down, had you gotten to Star Wars Galaxy Edge yet? No, I didn't. I almost did. I was supposed to be in Orlando next weekend, and I will be there, just not next weekend. When all this gets a little cleared up, a little better, when people aren't afraid to go out with masks, I think, like surgical masks, not superhero masks, I think that probably will be a better idea. So, Wasker Santos, hey Ming, any expensive pairs of jeans lately? No. So I started buying a ton, and then I stopped because I had more than enough. And then the ones I was wearing so much they got kind of worn out. But luckily, my friend Katya over at the Denim Surgeon is a wizard with repairing them. So I just anytime I get a hole or something, I get them repaired. So I don't need to buy as many as I did before. So spiritual or anarchist, what do you think of the new Star Wars movies? Do you hate them all? I don't hate them, but I don't love them either. And I think that's kind of the big argument. Force Awakens was entertaining, but it's A New Hope, almost shot for shot. They just made everything bigger and maybe bigger in scale and introduced a few new characters, which were kind of either mashups or callbacks to the old characters. I mean, I thought it was entertaining, but it wasn't anything new. Last Jedi is obviously it's pretty messy, and Rise of Skywalker. There are some moments that I like in Rise of Skywalker, but in the end, I think Rise of Skywalker is just a like a Band-Aid fix-it movie from Last Jedi. So I listen, I know this is impossible, but I was hoping to get that feeling of when I was sitting in the theater watching the original trilogy, and we didn't get it. But we kind of got it back now with The Mandalorian. I feel like The Mandalorian gave me that feeling where I was watching moments of The Mandalorian and I was like, "Oh man, that's awesome." That's that The Mandalorian, I felt like a kid again. So I think John Favreau obviously gets it. So and it sounds like the second season's turning up is going to be awesome. It's going to I mean I see Tamara Morrison is back, and Timothy Olyphant is going to wear the Boba Fett armor. I don't know what's going on there, but that's cool. So and I mean honestly, I think The Mandalorian's the best thing that happened to Star Wars since Return of the Jedi, and since I saw that last credit. Anything in between has been pretty tough. There have been some flashes. The animated stuff is good. There's been some cool stuff, but The Mandalorian is pretty awesome. So, and yeah, Will Wilkins, what's up? Mandalorian is truth. Absolutely. Ryan Kahn, this is a good question. How do you feel about the Snyder Cut being released? I like it because they finally, a company, listened to the fans. So that's good. So often they don't. And it stinks. And now I think they're going to be rewarded for listening to the fans. That being said, what left out of the original cut that what about the Zack Snyder cut is going to make it better? Does he pull out the whole Martha thing? Does he? It's just, it's a bit of a mess. Of course I'm going to watch it. It's I love that HBO was like, hey, we'll grab it and we'll put it on our Max, another app to buy, but now I have to buy it because the Snyder Cut's going to be on there. And I mean, I hope people don't think it's going to be like a mind-blowingly brand new awesome, like all of a sudden it's going to be an awesome movie now. So yeah, I heard they're dumping 20 more million into it. So I don't know, do we get new scenes? Do we get Darkseid? Do we get any new villains? Do we get anything new? I don't know. Does Henry Cavill get his mustache back? I don't know. I can't imagine it's going to make it better though, right? So, but I'll watch it. So, Skip Plate, what's your most valuable Star Wars collectible? This is it right here. This is a very expensive Hensoldt replica blaster, all metal. Yeah, this might be it. Unless you count, I have a Star Wars poster signed by Carrie Fisher. In my mind, that thing's priceless, but I mean, monetarily, I don't know what that thing. I don't know what that is worth. So that's cool. Damon Marvin, what's up from the CF3 podcast? I love you guys. Let's record again at some point. Let's record again. That would be cool. That would be amazing. So, Wasker Senders, how was it to meet Stanley before his passing? It was cool. I mean, obviously when he came in the store, he came in 2012. So, and he passed away in 2018. So at the time he was 89, and yeah, so I didn't know he was going to pass away. You know, we kind of met him as if he was like we would never meet him again, which luckily didn't turn out to be the case. We met him a couple times afterwards at cons and things like that, but it was pretty mind-blowing meeting Stanley. It's not only one of your heroes, but just a really cool dude. He was really accommodating, and I love what he shot with us. And he came back twice, so I guess that means he liked us, right? So, um, Brian Spencer 01, what do you miss the most right now? It varies day to day. I miss not being able to podcast with people in person. I miss traveling. I miss going to restaurants. I miss going to hidden bars. I miss going to bars. I miss hugging my friends. I miss seeing my friends. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I've been able to see a lot of my friends through this, through live streaming and things like that. I mean, that's been. I'm glad that technology exists. Otherwise, I think I would go crazy. But I miss Comic Cons. I miss gathering with a whole bunch of other people and just partying for a whole weekend, and that atmosphere at a Comic Con where everyone's excited to be there and everyone's like going nuts over collectibles, where people would see this and they're like, holy crap, where they appreciate something like this. So um yeah, I miss all of that. So hopefully we'll get back to that very soon. Rachel, what's up, Rachel? I saw you from in the beginning. Sorry my sound wasn't on. What are the current restrictions in New Jersey? So currently, still, I think non-essential businesses are not supposed to be open. So that means podcast studios and anything not essential. Retail is allowed to be open, but they can only do curbside delivery. So, and I don't even know if Mike and Walt have even bothered with that over at the store. I don't even think they want to deal with that. Although, I'm like, dude, make get them do it. Get them run out to the curb and restaurants are still takeout only. So there's no, I saw in other states, there's like, 25% capacity, all that. We don't have any of that here just because we've been so hard hit here. Plus and we're so close to New York too. I think Jersey's like the second, like second or third most hit with the cases or with the deaths. So, I think it might be a little while. So I don't even know if I'm supposed to be here right now, but hey, I got stuff to do here, man. I got unboxings to do. I had to see this blaster. So yeah. Ben Elmore, do you have any cons still going on this summer? I saw Tampa Bay Comic Con is still going on in July. That's because Ben, your state of Florida is crazy. So we'll see if that still happens. I think the problem is, I don't think anybody wants to be the first con to open, or maybe they do. But then when that first con opens, and let's say somebody gets sick there, then all the other cons after it it's over. It's over. There's no way. They don't want to be the one. They don't want to be liable. They don't want to be known as the con that got people sick, or sick again. So that being said, like I would love to go to Tampa. I would love to see Tampa, but July might be a little too early. I still have a few scheduled this summer that got pushed to August. We'll see if those happen. Stockton Con is still on for August. Kansas City Comic Con is still on for August. They're, I believe, Nerd Now in Rochester. I believe they're still on for August. So hopefully I'll be able to make it to those. So we will figure it out for sure. So, and it is, Rachel, it is crazy. And Damon Marvin from Omaha, Nebraska, free beer at the Playhouse. Hopefully I get back to Omaha this year. Hey man, if Omaha opens up this year, I would love to see that again. So that was great. Christopher Hewett, what comic book did you read when you were young? I was really into the Avengers. Avengers 214 was my first comic book. Read a lot. I read a lot of Marvel comics when I was a kid. Then I got really into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Those in the late 90s. Those were cool. X-Men. Then I went on to reading a lot of Batman. And then I had a friend who, for whatever reason, he would have in his bedroom and then in the car, like when we were going road trips, he had just stacks and stacks and stacks of Archie comics. So I would always love picking those up and reading those. So that was cool. Michael Sell, does the scope work on that bad boy? It does. I don't know if I put this up to the camera. I don't think well, so you can see it's all glass here, but you can't see what it does work though. It's not awesome. And does this thing even do anything like this? No, I don't. Wait, oh wait, maybe it does. I don't know. I think there might be a way to focus this, but I mean, technically it works, but you're not going to be hitting anything from 1,000 yards with this thing. So GC8 Jeff, does that blaster have a good weight to it? It looks, it's all metal, dude. It's literally 5 pounds. I wish I had a scale here to show you how heavy it is. It is heavy. It's like a weight in my hand. So yeah, Remy Smith, what's up? Good to see you, my friend. I watched you guys last night. Now you or 2 nights ago, and now you watch me streaming. So this is very informal though. So why do you need to buy it from the Statch Kit? You, Walt, Mike, and possibly even Brian sign and send it to me. So Analytic Cynic, we are currently selling curated blind boxes where one of the comic book men will go through it and pick stuff for your box. Every box comes with a signed 8x10 signed by all 4 of us. And I think most boxes come with something signed by Kevin as well. jayandsilentbob.com. Check it out. I think they might, I don't know if they pulled them or if they're out of stock right now, but they'll be back. Just keep checking back every day. That'd be cool. Chuck Reeves, you'll shoot your eye out. Yeah, probably. I should probably be careful with this. So, all right. I'm gonna get out of here, but I had to come see this thing, and as you can see, it's pretty cool. So if you want one, I'll give them a plug. They didn't send me anything. This is not a free blaster by any means, but they were really fast replying to emails with any questions I had. And when I bought it, they shipped it that day, and I literally got this in 2 days. So you can grab or check one of these out over at toddscostumes.com. Todd, and there's a dude named Todd who makes all these. You're amazing. And then I'm trying to get some money to buy the Blade Runner one, which will be unboxed next. If you want, but grab a cameo from me. I'll leave you guys a shout out and or a birthday message, or I'll make fun of people for you, or I'll do a wedding greeting or whatever. Check it out, cameo.com/Mingchen37. And yes, from Millennium Falcon. I will see you later. I have a spice run. To get to. So Ken Collada, what's up? Ken Collada from our favorite place, Yestercades. He's been live streaming as well. He's got three shops, right? Somerville, Red Bank. Where's the third one? Anyways, why can't I remember? Because my brain is fried. Check out yestercades.com. The best in vintage gaming, pinball, consoles, every game, everything. Love you guys. And Nightwing, can we please get another season of Comic Book Man? Dude, I'm trying, man. I'm ready to go if they tell me to go. I just don't control the place. Like Westfield, the third one's in Westfield. I knew that. John Doe, you need to get a real graphics lightsaber. That might be in the works. I don't know. I have the over on the wall here. I have the Black Series ones, which I love. I think those are great especially for the price. They're amazing. So I don't know. The one I really want, if I were to get another lightsaber, is I think there's a Disney or a Galaxy's Edge exclusive Rey one with a removable blade, which looks pretty cool. So anyways, toddscostumes.com. That's where I grabbed this. I love it. I'm gonna run around the studio now and pretend to shoot Mike and Walt and Brian, I guess. But yeah, good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And you haven't seen the last of me. We're gonna be doing my just weird impromptu live streams from here for sure. So sir, you have that Rey lightsaber. A trade, huh? I don't know. We'll have to talk. I wonder if I have anything you're looking for. So all right, guys, I'll have a great night. I'll see you guys soon. May the force be with you.